The 7 stages and the 3 periods of the human lifespan. This presentation is dedicated to all persons who are transiting the first period of their lifespan. It is hoped that those in their childhood, adolescent, and youth stages of their life will find this explanation helpful in providing a frame of reference for self-understanding as they learn to assume greater responsibility in their movement towards adulthood. The presentation will be made under the heading, The Rainbow of Human Development. For this purpose, I will use the 2 bookmarks you are about to see. Greetings. You have before you 2 bookmarks. They were created to provide a visible frame of reference for considering the 7 stages and the 3 periods of human development, providing that the person lives long enough to cover the 7 stages. The first bookmark shows the expected 7 stages of the total lifespan of the earthly existence of every human being. The second bookmark shows the 3 periods into which these 7 stages are divided. In both of these bookmarks, the stages are placed in their biological and chronological order. The human being is fashioned for life in community. From conception, the person impacts the social dimension of human relations. It must be noted at the outset that death can terminate the person's existence at any stage, that is, from conception to senior adult. The bookmarks present the 7 stages possible to your existence and life on earth. In the 4 stages after prenatal and birth, that is, infancy, childhood, adolescence, and youth, your parents, you and others, lay the foundation for what your life will be in your adulthood, which is the 2nd period. In your adulthood, you will make preparations for the 3rd period, which is your senior years. You have a wonderful opportunity in this first period of your life to set the foundation for the kind of life you would like for yourself, for your family of origin, your own family when you become an adult, and for the kind of impact you would want to make on your community, your country, and the larger world. It is in your hands to mold yourself to become an intelligent, wise person, with values which dignifies the human being and which brings joy to your Creator and also blesses human existence. I invite you to dedicate yourself to make the best of you. You were designed to assume full control and responsibility for yourself by the time you should become an adult. To reach that point in your development after birth, you will have to pass 4 very important stages in the unfolding of your potential. The first stage in the development of a human being is called prenatal. This takes place in the female body, that is, in the mother. The 2nd stage is infancy. The 3rd, childhood. The 4th, adolescence. The 5th is youth. These 5 stages constitute your time of preparation for adulthood, the first period of your life. all during the first 4 stages that follow after birth, and up until you become an adult, you would have had and you will need the help, guidance, and support from your parents or guardians and your teachers. Others are important for your survival and the quality of life you would live. You are born in a community, and your life is supported and unfolded in community settings. Some persons in their time of preparation take on adult responsibilities, particularly in the late part of their youth stage of life. However, some do so even earlier. Many are not taking the care to be adequately prepared emotionally, intellectually, and financially to assume the responsibilities of such undertakings. Let us now take some time to consider the bookmarks you have before you. The reason for the title, The Rainbow of Human Development. As there are 7 stages to our development as listed on the bookmarks, and there are 7 colors in the rainbow, I decided to use the colors of the rainbow to represent a stage in our development. Starting from the inside of the arch to of the rainbow towards the outside, we have violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. At each end of the bookmarks, you have a black column in which you find the word mystery. These 2 columns signify the mystery which envelops our beginning and our end in this world. They remind us that we do not know everything about our beginning, and neither do we know everything about our ending. The stripes of the colors of the rainbow across the bookmark and below the 7 stages indicate that persons in every stage of development will constitute our human environment or our human community at any stage of our life. The horizontal orange bar over the 7 stages indicates that human life requires adult care and supervision in its beginning and continuation. In the 6th stage of the person assumes full control of his or her dependence and interdependence, while they maintain good relations with their parents and others. The figures under each stage indicate an approximation of the beginning and duration of that stage. As each stage moves into the other in an imperceptible manner, yet identifiable at certain points by characteristics particular to that stage, the first 2 figures at the beginning of the indication of the ages in each stage, excepting prenatal and infancy, is to show that at the completion of a year, the next one begins. As was mentioned before, the 7 stages are classified into 3 periods as follows. The first period covers the first 5 stages, that is, prenatal, infancy, childhood, adolescence, and youth. The time span is from prenatal plus 25 years. This is the time of preparation, as you see the illustration before you. The second period covers adulthood. The time span is relatively 35 years. This is the time of fruition, which is the realization of the dreams and plans you made in your time of preparation, that is, the first period of your life. When you become an adult, you have full control and responsibility for your life. The third period covers the senior years. The likely time span is 30 to 50 years, from 60, 61 onwards. It is expected that persons in this stage of life would have a wealth of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom from the experience of all the earlier stages of their own life, and that they would be able to serve as resource persons, to offer guidance or become mentors to the younger generation, helping them to make good choices as they undertake the task of charting the course of their own lives. Let us consider a few particulars about each stage. Prenatal. It is of utmost importance to exercise care, not only with reference to the medical or biological aspect of the child's development, but also to the emotional and intellectual atmosphere of the mother as well as the family life. The nature or quality of the experiences of the mother during pregnancy has lasting effects upon the child's life. Infancy. The love storge, as it is called in the Greek, within the family context, and the love towards members of other families, phileo, should be inculcated by example on the part of parents, older brothers and sisters, and relatives. You should not underestimate the importance of a good example, not only for this stage, but for all the stages of the person's development. Childhood. Approximately 6 years, that's the duration. Recognizing the value and importance of knowledge, principles, and values to the attainment of a sensible management over the physical, intellectual, and emotional potential of his or her being, education in this direction should be intensified at this stage of the child's development. Adolescence. Duration about 5 years. It is of particular significance that adolescence is the middle point of the stages of the development. It has always been characterized as conflictive, making emphasis on the struggle between parents and children. Certainly, there will be conflicts, but these are not all due to the children, but also to parents who do not understand the importance of dialogue and wise orientation at this stage of the child's life. Preparation for greater responsibility, that is self-control, must take place at this time. The child is increasing in self-reliance for many aspects of his or her life, but will not be fully prepared until the latter part of their youth, depending on the kind of guidance given, particularly by the parents. Youth. Duration about 8 years. At this stage, the person exercises a greater responsibility, that is control, for themselves without having to be disrespectful of the moral, ethical, and spiritual principles and values of the family, which has been his or her place of birth, growth, and personal formation. Adulthood. Duration about 34 years. All the first 5 stages point to adulthood. It is the time of complete responsibility for oneself. It is in this stage where a man and a woman should undertake to become parents, having attained adequate preparation in all areas necessary to the careful and wise exercise of their paternal and maternal responsibilities, respectively. The 7th stage makes reference to the older adult or the senior citizen. Duration from 60 to 61 upward. The senior person is a source of knowledge and experience of life, able to give wise counsel and guidance to those in the earlier stages of development. The foundation for this stage must be set during the first 5 stages, and particularly very early in the 6th stage of the person's development. Let us consider a few more things about you. The 5 stages of your life before becoming an adult are stages of preparation for that very special time. By nature, the human being is a dependent and interdependent creature. Human life is lived in such a context. During our lifetime, we experience different expressions of community life. The shift of your dependence is a movement from one basis of dependence to another. This shift is termed independence. It does not mean that you cease to be dependent, but simply that you have shifted your basis of dependence. You are now depending on your education, your qualification, your skill in taking full responsibility for the care and unfolding of your life. There are so many things that the human being must learn before he or she takes over full control of his or her life that it requires approximately 18 to 25 years to be adequately prepared. The guidance you will need to that end was not implanted or printed in you by any genetic code, for the human being was made to live by learning. You were not born with all you will need to know to live a healthy, wise, happy life, to be a blessing and not a curse to yourself and to others in the world. In essence, you are a learner, and you are exposed to the double potential of good and evil within yourself and the world in which you exist and will continue to live. Human life begins with the oversight of an adult who is able to take care, preserve the life of the infant, and to nourish and nurture the child towards assuming full responsibility for the self that he or she is by the time they have completed 18 or 25 years of age. Your parents' responsibility, besides all the care that they give, is to teach you proper management of yourself as you move from one stage to another. Their task is not to take over the management of you. You will need the attitudes of humility, trust, obedience, the confidence grounded in love of your parents, and a firm faith in their goodwill for your life. Your parents will be your first tutors or teachers in the school of life, and your home will be your first classroom. According to the time span, it takes approximately, as we have seen before, 18 to 25 years to be adequately prepared for assuming full responsibility for yourself and for becoming an intelligent, wise, and capable parent. The timing of certain events in your life is of crucial importance. You can prove to be wise or foolish in the management of your power to choose as you grow from one stage to another. Once you become an adult, you can choose who you will listen to, and at that time you will be fully responsible for the direction and quality of your thoughts and life. The order of these stages cannot be shifted. However, you can adopt behaviors that are not appropriate to the stage of life you may be in. You may undertake adult responsibilities for which you are not prepared. This will not be a wise use of your power to live as you choose. These 7 stages are directly related to modifications in your body, mind, and soul. Apart from the prenatal stage, the other 6 stages of a person's life takes place after the person is born. These stages can only be stopped by death, whether it be natural, accidental, crime, suicide, etc. The development can be monitored towards the goals you adopt. The human potential is unfolded in the social context of human relating. I trust that this presentation of the bookmarks has served to do the following. 1. To create an awareness of truths about yourself and others, and that you recognize that your action, reaction, and responses to others in the different social settings of your life will determine the quality of life you live now and in the days ahead. 2. To help you when you become a parent in giving guidance during the different stages of your children's life, and to be aware of the crucial importance of inculcating proper principles and values from an early stage, not only by word, but more importantly, by living examples. 3. In this age of scientific and technological development, you may claim to know more than your parents, and that may be true in matters of modern technology. But most certainly you can never claim to know more about life, for you have not yet reached the maturity and the wealth of insights that come only through the years of life experiences. 4. As your life is unfolded in the midst of others, it will be to your best interest to establish good manners, principles, and values that will lead you to have a positive and healthy impact on others. Others play a very important role in our lives, and we should value, respect, and treat them justly and with kindness. To those who are transiting the first period of their life, particularly adolescence and youth, I would like to leave the following question. How much power will you assume, and how much will you give to your friends, either to improve or spoil your life? You can guide your life to achieve the goals you adopt. Do not waste your time, and do not permit others to do so. Make good use of the first period of your life, which is the time of your preparation. Use your time and energies to lay the foundation that will ensure stability and success in your undertakings. I encourage you to seek to know and understand more about your biological and social development, and how your involvement is the key to your present experience of life and the kind of future you will have and its impact upon others. Blessings to you.